Actually, no. The NPC says like 2 or 3 at a time, but I've seen like 4 or 5 people do it at once, and nothing bad happened as far as I can tell. So. By the way, use your WASD keys. Do not try to click to keep up with this. Now this part is a bitch because, okay, the NPC, no one talks to it, by the way. Just wait a minute. You gotta let one person do it at a time, or it's gonna screw the process up. Basically, we take turns. Only 3 people have to do it successfully, but the same person can't do it twice in a row. So, assuming he succeeds, somebody else will have to go next, and then whatever. Basically, when it's your turn, if you go, the NPC will tell you to prepare an attack, and that is the only attack you'll be using for this stage. What makes it confusing is that he has 5 commands. He'll either tell you to do what he does, he'll tell you to do what he says, or he'll say don't do what he does, or he'll say don't do what he says, or he'll say don't do either one.
Sounds fun.
So you gotta pay attention to that, and then do the corresponding command. A lot of times he'll say attack a certain numbered straw man, but he himself will attack a different one. And so based on what he told you about whether or not you should be doing what he did or said, then you have to figure out which one to attack from there. So remember that the only attack you use,
not what he does.
Well, that's the thing. If he tells you to do what he does, then you watch what he does and not what he says. That's why it gets confusing. And sometimes he'll just say, don't do what I say, or he'll say, don't do what I do. So
I'm confused as fuck.
you have to pay. Yes, I still fuck up on this one because it's a pain in the ass. So, but basically, it'll be 5 commands. He'll either say, do what I do, or he'll say something like do what I say, or the third one is don't do what I do, the fourth one is don't do what I say, and the last one is don't do what I do or say. It's probably not word for word like that, but that's basically what he's saying. So you gotta after he tells you to prepare your attack, he'll say one of those 5, and keeping that in mind, you have to follow or don't follow his orders from there. This one is basically a combination of weight. Basically, you want both sides to be equal in weight. Only people who are standing on either the purple or the red one will be counted for the weights, and you want the weights between them to be equal. Basically, he'll give you a number, and that's the weight you want to shoot for. Characters. Our player characters count as 2, except for stone men, which are so big that they count as 3, and dwarfs, midget asses only count for 1. The hobgoblins that he summons each weigh 1 each. So keeping that in mind, you want to have equal weights on both sides, and it has to be the number that he will tell us. So sometimes you may have to kill a hobgoblin or 2. Sometimes you may have to put people on it. It's not too difficult. Pay me, come over. Come here. Come. Never mind. Get back off. Up. Stay. 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 That's another race where you don't want to hesitate too much, because if one person doesn't move, somebody else will, and when you have 2 or 3 extra people getting on it because people hesitated too much. Yeah. Once he announces what the total weight on both sides is, it's safe to get off. Alright, for this one, basically what you want to do is once he starts the timer, a bunch of antique items will appear on the ground, and you just want to collect as many as you possibly can. If you look at my character's title, this is where the Poro Duck titles come from. If you collect 40 antiques before the end, you'll get the Poro Duck title. 50 antiques gives you Poro Duck 2, which is the one I have, and 60 gives you a higher one. I guess 3. I'm not sure because I've never gotten it. Also, pay attention to what that NPC says in the chat, because every so often he'll call a person's name and say he's trying to catch them. Don't let him catch you, because he'll hold you in place to make you waste time. For this part, I recommend calling out a pet, because in a few seconds he's going to say he's getting bored, and yeah, there they go. At which point he calls out these fireflies. If they hit you, they interrupt you from item collecting, so you want to kill them. Duck Lucas the 8th and give him to him, and he'll give you some more tickets and some EXP based on how much you collected, I think. Well, I think the ticket number is static, but I think the EXP is based on how many you turn in.